Senator Jean Preston. Well, I got a call about 2 weeks ago from Cecilia Piner, and she told me that they wanted to get a few people down here together to talk to us about fisheries issues. And I immediately told her, let's set a date and I'll be there. So that's why I'm here. I've been in the General Assembly since 1993, and because I live here, one of my most important things I can do is take care of the water and the fisheries. So I have been with them on a number of occasions, and it's always really sad. And I think it's important for us who are elected officials to hear these stories and do what we can to keep their lights on and their food on the table.
To the elected officials, I've been hearing a lot from fishermen, especially in light of all the regulation that they've been trying to take on these days, that basically loosening regulation is a way to create jobs in this community, and also just there's so many job multipliers associated with the fishing industry. Why is that a tough sell for fellow elected officials? Because it seems like more regulation continues to kind of be piled up anyway.
Well, a lot of the regulations are coming from the feds. And as you heard Mr. Daniels say, they've got rules and regulations. I think our job is, and I hope we accomplished it today, is send the problems that our constituents have, if we can have a voice for them. And Pat and I both had talked with Dr. Daniels about the scholar situation. And he said, I'm bound by rules. So today I was glad to hear him say that if what we're doing is wrong, I believe we ought to have flexibility in those management plans. Because when you established it, maybe 5 years ago, things change. There's maybe more availability now or not, but I would like to see some flexibility in those plans that they have. And I think we heard today that there was going to be an effort to do that.
Tate Johnson, Governor Perdue's director for Eastern North Carolina. From her days in the General Assembly, she's, as I said, always been a supporter and a friend to commercial fishermen. And I really had no other choice but to come down here because of that. Her relationship in the past with those folks. So. Is
she aware, or did she feel that there is an expectation that the fishermen here are being choked out by regulation in some way, or is regulation considered a problem for the government?
That I wouldn't be able to answer, and I probably shouldn't speak on, because that's what the board is that she appoints. They're there to make those decisions. So,
what's the message are you going to be bringing back to the governor from this meeting?
The stories that I heard here today, especially from the fishermen who can't pay his flight bill. His flight bill's been shut off, and he's sharing electricity with his neighbor.
Tillman Taylor, third-generation fish house worker, my family business. Also drive a truck, and I also commercial fish when I get an opportunity.
What brought you to this meeting today? Obviously your association, but what is it that encouraged you to come here today to speak out?
Just basically to get help. The industry is dying. Not to point a finger at the government and say that it's all regulations, but it's not getting any better, and the regulations are not helping anything. As more and more imports, as more regulations are imposed, that's just more imports that's going to be allowed to take over the market. And once the imports get a foothold, they're just not going. You're not going to be able to recover it. 15 years ago, probably closer to 20 years ago, actually, when I was growing up, we would send 2 tractor trailer loads of nothing but fresh seafood south. One load would go to Florida, one load would go on down in the Gulf. Now we struggle to load one truck.
Sandra Gaskell, Harkers Island. I'm a commercial fisherman. I work with my husband on a shrimp trawler, and this is all our livelihood comes from this. It has for 40 years. That's all our income comes from the water. We brought our family up. We raised our 2 sons. We built our house, everything. And
all from fish?
All from fish. Nothing but fish, shrimp. We jumped from one fishery to another, and that's all we know. And you can't go out and get a job where there's no jobs, as everybody knows now. It's too late for me to get a job. I mean, you get it in your blood. My husband's got it in his blood, and there's nothing else for you to do. Regulation has changed a lot. If it wasn't for the regulations taking cutting down how many fish you can have, when you can have them, cutting the days out, when you can go. All them things plays a part in what you do. And if the regulations is a lot of, we need to be able to work without so many quotas, and a lot of fish are coming back, and a lot of fish are not overfished. So we need to find out what ones they are and let them be truthful about it, whoever's ahead of it, and check the data and everything so we can work. People are suffering now. Some of them having to go to churches and get food and money to pay their light bills. And it needs to be changed now. Anything so we can work.